Alright guys, Fuller coming to you with another video. Shout outs to the whole LDBC. So I got cut off on my last video, and I'm just gonna resume where I picked up off at. Another reason why I support the DPRK is because I had to apply, as I said in the previous video, I had to apply basically the same principles in my life here. Now the thing is you know, when I was opening my business, I asked for like a bank loan. You know, I was trying to get a bank loan, and my credit was good enough to get the bank loan. And I went to many different places to get the loan. You know, I tried to check in different places altogether, right? But they would not give me the loan. You know, they just said, no, you're declined. And so I'm like, damn, you know, what am I gonna do? So what I had to do is I had to do it the old-fashioned way. I had to save up. And then what I did is, you know, because I met someone here, I went the informal route, and I got a, what we did is, we did something that we call a susu. And what a susu is like basically, it's like group economics. And you put money in a pot, and the person gets the pot, you know, while still putting money in the pot. And it just circulates between people. You know, it just circulates, you know. And so, you know, getting people to buy into that was pretty difficult, you know. But, you know, I found people who were willing to buy into it because they were already doing it. And I just had to become part of the fray. So, you know, long story short, I was given a lump sum. I was able to get a couple of containers here, and then the rest was history, you know. And so, you know, a lot of that came from basically North Korea's philosophy that I feel that us Africans definitely have to adapt, you know, in parts of our lives. Because the thing is what we end up doing is we keep on selling ourselves short, man. We always like let people, these like companies, come into our country, like develop our own resources, use our own resources, and we just get the short end of the stick, you know, and we're still in, you know, poverty, you know. But the reason why I feel that the ideology for North Korea will work for us is for the simple fact that, you know, it's called juche. And what juche means, basically, it means that you're basically in control of your own destiny, and that, you know, you should be able to decide everything, you know, and that you have to be independent, and basically you have to develop your own society, and that basically you have to be self-sufficient, self-reliant, self-defending. And that goes for your, like, having that in your society, man. So that's what would have to happen in Africa if we were to move ahead. And so I just kind of like applied that I applied that ideology to my daily business dealings. You know, it's crazy because people think that like the little videos that I do on Nature Boy, like the very few videos I do on his ignorance and the dumb things he says, People think I do them because I'm trying to get paid or something like that, but no. I mean, do you see a Cash App in my profile? No. Do you see a PayPal in my profile? No. The only reason I have a PayPal is for customers to send me payment for items I sell them. No other reason than that, you know. But I don't knock people's hustle, and I'm not in their pockets, you know. With you, how you make your money, get it how you live. That's what I have to say about that. Now, let's go to the fact that in the previous video I said that the Black Panthers went to North Korea. The Black Panthers actually deprived law and went to North Korea. Eldridge Cleaver went to North Korea, okay? Bypassed the travel restrictions and went there. You know, and so, you know, what I'm trying to get at is that, you know, he saw it in action, you know. He saw the fact that, you know, despite, this is before all the economic blockades happened, that, you know, despite these factors, North Korea was still able to develop their military and their economy at that time. But the problem is, you know, when you get sanctioned, you get starved out, you know, and you lose the ability to, like, kind of develop yourself, because, you know, there may be certain materials you need, you know, to further develop yourself, but you don't have access to it, you know. And so, you know, the thing is like, you know, Nipsey said a lyric that made a lot of sense, and it just kind of made me take heed, and it made me realize that, damn, man, like, you know, he was really trying to tell us something. You know, the thing is I'm gonna look for the lyric, you know. And I'll basically I'll read it, and it just makes sense to me, you know. Let me go ahead and before I read that lyric, this is basically juche in a nutshell. And this comes from an article, and this comes from the Black Panthers, and this can work for us Africans, you know, on the continent as well, you know, because at the end of the day, if we rely on other people, if we rely on outside people and outside assistance, we're just going to be in the same shape we're in right now. If we keep on relying on these IMF loans, these World Bank loans, these humanitarian aid, we're still just going to be crippled, you know. But this says right here, we must rely on ourselves. And in the article, it says, it is the duty of the Vanguard Party to teach the people in the black community the correct method of resistance. To do this, we must first break down the word juche. It basically means relying on yourself and supporting and supplying yourself. We cannot rely on foreign aid. We will have to supply ourselves with the tools of liberation. As the black people in America have done before, we will make something from what appeared to be nothing. The Vietnamese people have given us a perfect example of juice. They took their own things and put it on sharp sticks and used it to deal with the enemy. We black people in fascist America have an unlimited variety of things to arm ourselves with. We must use the natural resources of our black communities, and will rely on one of our most abundant resources. We will have nothing else we can use. You know, and he just goes on to say, like, there's different ways to use, like, what you have. And I can attest to that, because, like, in all the grassroots movements, when it came to like even the movement that, like, my family was a part of, the PAIGC, they didn't start with much. You know, I mean, the leader, Amilcar Cabral, he was not a military strategist when he started out. He was an agronomist. You know, they didn't have, like, a lot of means to do what it is they needed to do, but they started with what they had, and then boom, things happened. You know, it's even like with boxing in Africa. I can even attribute it to boxing in Africa. You know, I mean, F.A. Ajagba, the Nigerian heavyweight coming up. You know, if you look at the material he had to start with back in his locality, you will be like, well, you know, this is nothing. You know, this, how is he gonna do anything? Like, I mean, we come from, like, using, like, stacks of tires as punching bags, you know, as heavy bags. We come from that, you know? So now when I look at it, like, that's how I really think of, that's how I really, like about, like, North Korea, basically. You know, it's that idea of self-reliance, that idea of autonomy. And I'm going to, you know, let me read these lyrics, because, I mean, these were some very powerful lyrics that Nipsey Hussle said, you know, and it just it kind of has that idea, you know, it kind of has that idea of self-reliance, basically. So this song is on a song that he released on an EP called, it's called Famous Lies and Unpopular Truths EP, but the song is called Mark My Words. And I would play this song, but I don't want to get, like, pinched for a copyright, because I played one of his songs last time and they got me for it. But Nipsey said, grind strenuous, cash out continuous, mogul in the making, autonomous black businesses, broken culture that we all lost niggas in, innovation over ignorance. So, you know, when he says these things, that's what we have to do. And I think that's what juche contains, is elevated innovation. Because for so long, you know, you would think that North Korea would, like, fall to the ground, you know, with all the sanctions that they've been handed, you know. But they haven't, you know. And I think as an African people, you know, juche is good because you develop yourself. You know, you're in control of your own destiny. You don't put yourself in, you basically don't allow someone else to control your destiny. You know? That's why it's, like, very much important, like, to have this kind of mentality. Because you know, people think, like, and this is my opinion about reparations, and this may be an unpopular opinion, but the way I look at reparations is kind of like basically a basically like, what's a good way to say it without offending someone? It's basically like giving a baby a pacifier, you know, to calm them down. That's what it kind of reminds me of. Yes, you can say reparations are something that can be given, right? But, you know, we'll be holding our, like, I can't speak for myself because I'm continental African, but let's just say hypothetically speaking, I wanted reparations. I would probably be holding my breath for a couple of lifetimes to get those things, you know? They're going to talk about it all they want. But with them talking about it, about giving reparations, the energy in waiting for them can be made by giving them the middle finger and building yourself. You know, that's how I feel like the juche comes in, you know. But let me go ahead and read more about, like, actually what they don't tell you about North Korea, you know, like the things that they leave out about North Korea, you know. Basically, in North Korea, you get free education, you get free medical care, people's health is fully guaranteed, you get free housing. I'm not saying that these things are, I'm not saying everything's perfect in North Korea. I'm not saying that, you know, at all. You know, but kids in North Korea, they enjoy free after-school activities, learning piano, learning violin. You know, there's no begging in the streets, not really any drug problems. Tourists, or I should say my uncle, when he went to North Korea, he said that he left his hotel any day or night, you know, and without fearing for his safety. There's no problems with robberies or gangs or anything like that, you know. And another thing, and I mean, the point is this: not every country is going to fit into Westminster democracy. Not every country is going to work under putting an X by a name and letting that X represent you for the next 4 years with you just being like, okay, well, I voted. You know, no. Some people need a hands-on approach to building their communities and building their countries. And I feel that us Africans definitely need that hands-on approach. We can't, like, be governed under, like, some Westminster governments. Now, you know, basically, in the DPRK, there's members that are elected, and the bodies meet frequently. They make important decisions in a normal democratic way. An example given is that, you know, they may have to take a vote as to whether to spend money on building a new kindergarten or improving a hospital or something like that. And they said in this way, broad masses of people are involved in the process of managing society. If the bodies don't function correctly, there are mechanisms for people to criticize them and appeal against bad decisions and negative work. For example, if water sanitation in a particular village needs to be improved, then local people can go to the council to protest. If their protest is taken into account and the situation is improved, that is good. If not, people can appeal higher up to the city province level. So, there are other political parties in North Korea as well. You know, there's not just, you know, they're not just one party, you know. That's why they call it the Democratic People's Republic of North Korea, you know. And, you know, the more I read on it, the more I say to myself, like, they hide this stuff from you, man. They really hide these things from you. I mean, because they only tell you one side of the story. They don't tell you the other side of the story. You know? That's the problem with this whole thing. You know? They really don't tell you these things. So this is why me, myself, you know, thank God to my uncle, I basically got the information to you know, how should I put this? You know, my uncle gave me the information he needed. And he just told me that you can't just believe everything you hear. And you definitely can't, like, rely on, like, Western media to give you, like, the truth of the matter, you know. And so the more, as I said, I read about, like, the DPRK, the more I have to read on it, you know, to see the truth of the matter. And so, with that being said, man, that's all I gotta say. You know, I know this is gonna be an unpopular video, but at the end of the day, you have to make use of everything that is available to you. And that includes knowledge, and that includes different methodologies and perspectives at looking at things in order to meet a common goal, you know. And the goal is to be able to raise your quality of life, be able to walk with dignity, basically, and possibly inspire and empower other people to want to do the same in their communities, you know. So, you know, that's all I got for now, guys, man. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments on this matter. You know, let me know if you have any, you know, any thoughts or discussions that you've had with people in regards to the DPRK. But Fula signing out. Njaram.